As you saw in the title and the thumbnail, we're going to be giving out power rankings for every single NFL team. Anyway, quick note before we get into the video, only about 22% of you guys that watch our videos are actually subscribed. If everybody that watches just subscribe, then we can easily reach our goal of 100 subscribers soon. So please subscribe, and without any further ado, cue the intro.
Yeah, I like to keep it mellow. I smoke and keep it mellow. I drink and keep it mellow. Every day I keep it mellow. Every day I keep it mellow.
Alright, since we're going worst to first, let's start off with the Jacksonville Jaguars at the number 32 spot. Not much to be said here, other than it's time to pretty much blow it up. We'll see how the Minshew Mania experiment works out, but for now, they hold the number 32 spot. Moving on to number 31, we have the Carolina Panthers. Besides from Christian McCaffrey, well, there really isn't much. They got a brand new quarterback in Teddy Bridgewater. They got a brand new head coach, and they lost Luke Kuechly. They lost James Bradbury. They just lost way too many pieces, and we'll see what they can do. But for now, they're number 31 on the list. At number 30, we have the Cincinnati Bengals. The future may be bright for this team, but there's too much unproven for now, especially in a brand new quarterback, rookie Joe Burrow, coming out of LSU. He did have one of the greatest college seasons in the history of college seasons, but for now they're number 30. We'll see what he can do this season. At number 29, we have the Washington Redskins. This may be Haskins' last chance to prove himself under a new head coach and possibly a premium draft pick next year, probably in the range of Trevor Lawrence or a Justin Fields. We'll see what he can do, but if he doesn't make a major improvement this year, Ron Rivera might decide to move on from him and choose a quarterback of his own. Moving on to 28, we're going to have the second straight NFC East team, the New York Giants. Dave Gettleman is clearly rebuilding this team right now, but the offense seems pretty good on paper, and we'll see if they can put the pieces together on defense especially. But for now, they're going to be number 28. 27 is the Detroit Lions. If Stafford stays healthy, they might have a pretty good team, but I think that it's just time for this franchise to rebuild, because the past few years, they've just been nothing more than mediocre. At number 26, the Los Angeles Chargers. The Chargers have a top 10 defense this year, at least on paper, and they should have a top 10 defense in real life, but it really depends on their offense, and we'll see if they can put the pieces together, because they do have a new quarterback, Justin Herbert, a rookie, Tyrod Taylor, Austin Eckler, Keenan Allen, Mike Williams. We'll see if they can put all the pieces together. But moving on to number 25, the Chicago Bears. They need to get their quarterback situation figured out because their defense is just great. Bears fans, you might want to skip forward a few seconds in the video, because imagine this here.
With the second pick in the 2017 NFL Draft, the Chicago Bears select Patrick Mahomes, the second quarterback.
It is Patrick Mahomes the second, not Deshaun Watson. That was the apple of the Reed door.
Sorry for that, Bears fans, but anyway, we have to move on. At number 24, we have the New England Patriots. They just lost way too many players in free agency, including the GOAT and Tom Brady, but we'll see what Stid can do with this team. And by that, I mean Jarrett Stidham, of course. At number 23, we have the Las Vegas Raiders. They have a great O-line, and if Derek Carr can return to how he was a few years ago, meaning MVP form, they could be a serious contender for a wild card spot this upcoming year. The New York Jets come in at number 22. The Jets had a strong push last year when Darnold came back, but they're still clearly rebuilding, and I can't put them any higher than this, especially when their best player is desperate to get out of there. At number 21, the Miami Dolphins. They had a great free agency and a great draft. By the way, we made a video grading every single NFL team's draft, so check that out at the top right corner of the screen if that interests you. I just think that they are a couple years away from being a serious Super Bowl contender. At number 20, we have the Denver Broncos. Drew Lock showed up a lot of promise near the end of the last season, and he has some great weapons in Jerry Jeudy, Courtland Sutton, and Noah Fant. The addition of Melvin Gordon should help the already solid running game with Phillip Lindsay even more, and that defense is still great, led by Von Miller and Bradley Chubb. Look for them to be possibly a lot higher on this list by the end of the year. The Texans at number 19. The Texans. Where should I start? How about giving away the best receiver in the NFL and taking a huge hit to the cap, acquiring David Johnson, a way past his prime running back, which is not nearly as important as a great wide receiver. The only reason that the Texans are not bottom 5 is because of Deshaun Watson, one of the best young quarterbacks. Oh, no, not just young quarterbacks, one of the best young players, period, in the NFL. At number 18, we have the Los Angeles Rams. They're coming off a Super Bowl appearance in 2018, which was, by the way, the worst Super Bowl in the history of Super Bowls. But they are the best division. They are in the best division in football, and I don't see them getting past the wild card at best. Moving on to the Falcons at number 17. They just haven't been the same team since, 28-3 happened. I didn't like their draft, but they do have some star power like Matt Ryan, Julio Jones, and if Gurley can stay healthy and produce like he did a couple years ago, they could be a lot higher come the end of the year. At number 16, the Cleveland Browns. They went into last season with sky-high expectations, but Mayfield and the team greatly underachieved. Not as high expectations this year, but if Mayfield and Beckham could improve the chemistry, they should be a great team. And then moving on to number 15, we have the Indianapolis Colts. If Rivers plays like he did last year, they'll be no good. If he plays like he did in 2018, however, they probably should be a serious contender, which I think he will do because he has about a 10 times better offensive line than he did with the Chargers. By the way, that O-line was absolutely atrocious. And then at number 14, the Pittsburgh Steelers. Last year, they almost made the playoffs with Mason Rudolph and Duck Hodges as their starting quarterbacks. They also did not have Antonio Brown. That was totally an accident. And they also didn't have Le'Veon Bell. Still, with Big Ben back, they should make the playoffs. Next up, we have the Buffalo Bills. I think that they will finally win the AFC East. And fun fact, the Colts actually have more NFC East wins than the Bills have. And they're not even in the AFC East. Nonetheless, their defense might be the best in the league, and if Josh Allen can take the next step this year, they should contend. At number 12, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Sure, I feel like Tom Brady's being overhyped. He's like 80 years old, but we should still expect a lot from them this year, and he still is Tom Brady. He has some serious weapons in Tampa that he definitely did not have in New England last year. They should be fun to watch though. At number 11, the Tennessee Titans. The Titans were great once Tannehill came in last season, especially come playoff time, and they will go as far as King Henry will take them. At number 10, the Philadelphia Eagles. They made the playoffs last year and have some of their receivers coming back next year, and I think they will be pretty good again this year. And it's really a two-team race between them and the Dallas Cowboys for the NFC East because, the Giants and the Redskins really are not going to be contending this year because they're both in rebuilding mode. Next up at number 9, we have the Green Bay Packers. The Packers are a major regression candidate next year because of how many close games they won last year. I could definitely see them taking a huge step down this year, so for now they're number 9, even though they were in the championship game last year. At number 8, the Arizona Cardinals. Kyler Murray was great in his rookie season and is severely underrated just because he plays for the Cardinals and nobody watches them. But I could definitely see him taking a huge Mahomes or Lamar type step up in year 2 as a starter. Maybe not as an actual MVP, but he will be great. And having the best wide receiver in the NFL can't hurt either. At number 7, the Minnesota Vikings. The Vikings were a pretty serious contender last year, and I could see them seriously contending again this year, especially if Dalvin Cook plays again like he does last year without holding out. At number 6, the Dallas Cowboys. I made a video ranking every single NFL team's draft, and spoiler alert, the Cowboys were first. I will link that in the top right if you want to check that out. Anyway, Dak had a career year last year, throwing for 5,000 yards almost, and was one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. Dak also has weapons like Amari Cooper, Michael Gallup, and brand new fresh out of college CeeDee Lamb, who I also made a mix on. You can check that out in the top right as well. Oh, and by the way, Ezekiel Elliott still exists. Then, they have a great O-line, even though they did lose Travis Frederick to retirement. Dak should feast this year, and as long as the defense is at least average, Dallas will be legit contenders this year and will be exciting to watch. At number 5, the San Francisco 49ers. Wait, but they were in the Super Bowl last year. Why are they only 5th? Well, teams that lost the Super Bowl have proven to have trouble finding their way back, and I could definitely see this being the case with the Niners, but I just couldn't rank them any lower than this, especially with that defense. At number 4, the Seattle Seahawks. Seattle will go far as Russell Wilson will take them. Every year he puts the Seahawks on his back and is looking to do that again this year with no offensive line and little receiver help, unless Josh Gordon comes back and they sign Antonio Brown. But he still is Russell Wilson, and he still is playing in the toughest division in football. At number 3, the New Orleans Saints. Okay, I know that Drew Brees is almost 42, but they are still serious contenders because he still is a great quarterback, and they still do have a great team around him. At number 2, the Baltimore Ravens. MVP quarterback, great offensive line, very good run game, should be serious contenders again this year, no debate. And number 1, who didn't know who it was going to be? We all knew. It's the Kansas City Chiefs. Like, come on, they have Patrick Mahomes. End of discussion. We can move on now. Okay, but in all seriousness, they won the Super Bowl last year and have all the weapons in the world surrounding Patrick Mahomes, the best quarterback in the NFL. Well, anyway, guys, that's it for this video. Thanks so much for watching, and if you did enjoy, it would really help us if you dropped a like and subscribe. If you enjoyed this video, then you'll probably enjoy one of the videos on the screen as well, so check those out. Anyway, until next time, it's been TMB Productions. Thanks for watching.